Today in the news, Nvidia's in trouble and Intel's little boy comes out to play. What's up guys, I'm Snows, and this is your boot sequence. Before that, let me give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, WhoKeys. WhoKeys is where you can buy keys like this one for Windows 10 Pro. Get yourself a license with that link down in the description and click buy now and enter the code BTS25 for 25% off. And then you just submit your order, and once you're through with your payment and you receive your key, go to your computer, click on the Windows button, type in activate, and update or change your product key. It's that simple. Let's get started with Nvidia. It looks like the company is in a bit of trouble right now. In the last few days, they've apparently been attacked by a South American hacker group called Lapsus. Let's go through the timeline right here. Last week, the Telegraph reported that Nvidia was forced to take parts of its business offline. At this point, we got a statement from a spokesperson saying, "We are investigating an incident. Our business and commercial activities continue uninterrupted. We are still working to evaluate the nature and scope of the event and don't have any additional information to share at this time." That was on the 25th of February. Then we started to get information about the hack through Twitter user VX Underground. This is where we learned the name of the hacker group, Lapsus, and what they were able to steal. Apparently, they got away with 1 terabyte of proprietary Nvidia data during the hack. To get into Nvidia's systems and access the files, the virtual machines that they were using had to be under Nvidia's mobile device management. They had it connected to Nvidia's network for about a week. This connection method actually allowed Nvidia to hack back at them by encrypting the hackers' drives with ransomware. Unfortunately though, it might have been useless. The hacker group claimed to have backed up the data, which brings us to today. The group released the first part of the hack online, and apparently the information is legit. Nvidia even filed an abuse report on the original download link, so now the hackers have to go with the torrent route. Now, of course, don't go out downloading this leak because, well, I shouldn't have to explain that downloading things from an unknown source is always a bad idea. On top of all this, Lapsus is apparently selling a full LHR unlock for GA102 to GA104 GPUs. That's most of the RTX 3000 lineup. Next, they plan on releasing more of the confidential information, specifically the hardware folder, whatever that means. That's unless Nvidia meets their very specific demands. They want the company to push a driver update for all of the RTX 3000 series GPUs where the LHR limitations would be gone. Oddly enough, they say that they want to help the mining and gaming community, and that LHR apparently impacts gaming. Yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense. Anyways, that's where we're at for now with the Nvidia hack. It's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds in the next week or so. Will Nvidia fold and unlock LHR? I personally don't think so. The moment that the data left Nvidia's servers, it was pretty much over. The hackers have all of the control. It's going to be like the gigabyte leak all over again. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Next up, let's talk Alchemist. Last week, we got some Geekbench scores for the Alchemist GPU with the 512 execution units. That's supposedly the highest end model. And overall, it did fine. While the main Geekbench score was far from the RTX 3070 levels of performance that we've been hearing about, some individual tests were pretty close, and it was pretty impressive. Now though, we got a Geekbench score for the Alchemist GPU with 256 execution units. How did this one perform? Well, pretty well actually. With half the execution units, it managed a little more than half of the score, about 45,000 points. The clock speeds for this GPU was also lower than its bigger version. It was clocked at 2.05 GHz compared to the 2.4 GHz on the 512 EU model. Anyways, with that kind of score, this mid-tier card places itself around an RX 580 in terms of performance. But remember, this is a specific OpenCL test. It doesn't really translate into DX12 or Vulkan performance. Plus, the fact that it was paired with a 12500H means that it was likely a GPU for laptops. That makes the score it got even more impressive. Now, since we're seeing more and more benchmarks pop up for the Alchemist GPUs, it means that Intel is likely tweaking things to get the best out of their cards. Hopefully, we'll see these scores just keep going up over time. Lastly, let's do our free game check for the week. Right now, you can get Chris Tales, a turn-based RPG game that plays with the concept of time. This game got pretty good reviews, and if RPGs is your thing, check it out. Oh, and today only, if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, go check out your Prime Loot. There's a couple of games there, but most importantly, there's Stellaris. It's a really good space strat game. I highly recommend it. Anyways, guys, that is pretty much it for today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Drop a like if you liked it, a comment if you want to talk about today's stories, as usual, right here to see the latest video, right here to subscribe to the channel. Stay frosty, my dudes, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.